Welcome. Hello.
Are you going to do the intro?
Nah, you can...
Welcome back, everyone. It's a bit of a different podcast. Could you call this episode a podcast?
I mean, it's considered a podcast, isn't it? Because you're talking to someone else.
If it's going on Spotify, it's a podcast. We're probably going to put this on Spotify. So today, I'm joined by one of my best friends, another Will, Sherriff, part of the Willbot family. We thought, what are we going to do? I'm trying to do 2 videos every single month. And we were supposed to have one more podcast, but the guy kind of pulled out. Let's just do a Q&A on my Instagram, see what people want to actually know about AI, about my business, about my stuff. And, maybe we can talk a bit about our business dealings together as well.
A little teaser if you like.
Because Will and I have been working together for, years now. Went to school together. And, yeah.
I mean, who would have thought in year 10 we'd be sitting here doing a podcast talking about AI and God knows what else.
I would have thought, fuck, did I turn into a wanker? Like, honestly. So, bit different being on camera?
Look, remember back in, maybe if we mentioned the binmate days.
Binmate. Put a clip up of that. Yeah. Dude, put a clip up of binmate.
The real ones, no.
Have you guys forgot to buy bin tags?
Oh my God. How did we come up with binmate?
I saw it on a TikTok.
I think, who knows, it could make a comeback. Who knows?
I gave one of the shows away.
They know who they are, and I'm
No. This is gonna cut. We learned heaps from that because we just went door to door. Remember? We got a website set up. We got shirts set up. I think we ended up losing
we lost a lot of money.
Did we?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good learning experience. I think that's one way to look at it.
Oh, we did door knocking for that as well.
The door knocking was, I think, the best takeaway for me personally because building up that confidence applies to so many different parts of life. If you're in a nightclub, knocking on someone's door on a Saturday when they're having their day off, that's when they're least gonna want to talk to you, right? So,
and we had some pretty harsh people. Some people were just,
yeah, it builds. Yeah.
The more no's you get, the closer you are to a yes. So I just remember trying to think that, if I get 8 no's, that's one more closer to a yes, and then one more. But then something with that, such a niche service that a lot of people don't need. It's how many no's do you need?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was Bidmate.
Yeah, that was.
But then you moved on. You started doing some work for Maintenance Mates on the sales. This guy was a good salesman, I think. We were like, this is the part you're good at. Now you don't have to get dirty cleaning bins and shit.
Oh yeah, I remember that when I first did selling. So Maintenance Mates, obviously you guys know, and I was, I don't want to say unemployed because I worked at 1 to 10, but I didn't have business to try run. Yeah. So then old mate here says, let's go do some selling. So I thought, okay, why not? And I remember I landed up my first door knock. And I actually remember thinking oh my God, from going from bin cleaning to now landing a job, getting commission, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And we won't say the name, but you remember the one? Yeah, you know the one.
Yeah, that was a satisfying sound.
That was a huge, and I mean to this day, we've kept a good relationship. We're still going.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago? No.
Yeah. I think it was just under 2 years.
2 years ago, and still
going.
Still have that client because although we sold Maintenance Mates, there was kind of 2 parts under it towards the end, and
we let them know.
I don't disclose it too much, but when we sold Maintenance Mates, man, the ID's gonna come after me. They know everything I got now. When we sold Maintenance Mates, we had the window cleaning under Maintenance Mates as a separate brand. I realized we went from earning $50 an hour, pretty much max gardening, to 100 plus window cleaning, right? And I was like, oh, okay, this is probably something I should keep, because Willbot obviously wasn't making a huge amount of money. This was when it just started. Window cleaning was still cash flowing, so I was like, okay, it's still too early to really sell it. We didn't have enough clients built up. Let's just keep it, rebrand it. I'll help you set up the business because I'd done it before, and I did that with you very quickly. And then you manage it, and I'll help along the way. And that's sort of what we did. We rebranded it into Perfect Paints. If you need window cleaning done,
you know who to call.
Will does a really great job with Perfect Paints, unquestionable. I mean, you've come a long way from when we started it, that's for sure. Because
the amount of shit I got at the beginning, crazy.
But look at it.
Nah, it was good. I mean, I think that's what everyone needs is a bit of hard drilling at the beginning. Balls.
Everyone needs hard drilling.
No, but the point is, you need advice in a firm way. Otherwise, you're just going to become average. I think you need it.
And this was something I just had a lot more experience in. So I was able to help you set it up very well. And you did a great, like, one of the very hardworking guy, obviously. And, you know, great salesman. So what else do you need? I just showed you how to do all the accounting and everything like that. Managing employees. We got a few employees under that business now. And we got some big jobs as well. Some of them we can't name
Yeah, you probably can't.
for privacy reasons, but
But if you know,
all I'm going to say is go their house. That's doing really well. This is what, our biggest month ever?
actually, yes, it is, because cash. I haven't actually counted. Yeah,
Which we're claiming.
Yes. Look, the easiest thing to do in terms of marketing is just go door knocking. I mean, I don't have the most experience out there,
Yeah.
but from what I know already, we paid a lot of money on ads.
We got to the point of spending what, like,
1,000 a month.
I was over that, I think.
It was at least 1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Depending on all other things. Door knock is the best method.
I mean, especially as a small business, right? Because you're going from, there's a lot of different things, right? And if you think about a lead funnel, how you go to actually getting a customer or on a window clean, on a chatbot, whatever it may be, the last step is the sale, right? So you're doing all this mass marketing to try and get the prospects from that to the sale, where it's like, if you can just go straight to the selling process, straight to your target and targeting that person directly, you're just skipping all the marketing. You don't have to pay for it, right?
Totally, I 100% agree.
Yeah, Will's definitely earned his stripes as an entrepreneur, unquestionably. So yeah, that's a little bit of background. Now, 99.9% of my time is focused on Willbot.
Which is part of the agreement, right?
Yeah.
You'd focus on that because you have to, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I'd help us make some more money with Windows. I mean,
Absolutely.
worked hand in hand. I only had this opportunity because you started it with maintenance mates, and then you said, hey, look, you want to get involved because of other stuff that happened. But, you know, I was like, well, I'd still be at minus 10 otherwise. And you know how much I hated that? You know.
Now we should probably get into some of the more
The big stuff.
the more topical discussions, because one of the things that gave me this idea was you asked me all these questions about AI and like how it works and everything. And I get them all the time from people that I see, like, how does AI work? Is it going to take over the world? Is it going to do this? Is AI going to take my job? You know, these are like the questions I get asked all the time. You know, why not like just go through some of those questions and answer them right here? So I put out a little story on my Instagram. Check that out. I'm going to go through them now. And
I've got a couple already.
okay.
How powerful is ChatGPT? So a lot of people understand you can use ChatGPT, right? You can use it to do your assignments and everything, but how powerful is it?
ChatGPT is an extremely powerful piece of software. I mean, I don't think most people actually know how to use ChatGPT to its full extent. It's like most softwares out there, like you look at Excel, right? Most people are only going to use 5% of what Excel can do. It's really powerful software. And I think ChatGPT is the same. A lot of people might use it to help them write an email, rewrite their essay or something like that. But really learning how to prompt engineer, how to use those actions and everything like that, you can use it for 90% of tasks. But at the same time, you still need someone in between the task and the LLM, which is ChatGPT, to be able to prompt it correctly. So this stuff's getting more and more automated with the models that are coming out and the software implementations. Like now, you've got stuff like Microsoft Copilot or probably more well-known Apple Intelligence, ChatGPT on your Mac, where it's plugging in directly into your apps and doing stuff for you. So like it can already do all that stuff, but you just need the person that knows how to connect the two, right? Now it's coming more and more implemented. So how powerful is it? Like that's a pretty broad question. Short answer, very.
Another person asked, how long have you been studying AI and what caused you to pursue it?
Huh.
Good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. So I've been studying it for like since end of 2022. So like about 2 years now.
I remember when you started.
Yeah, when ChatGPT first came out, I was definitely very intrigued by it.
Yeah, this guy would not stop looking at it. I remember in open ground, he'd sit there and you just look at everything about ChatGPT. Yeah, I'm like, well, we've got an assignment due tomorrow. But he's like, yeah, ChatGPT can do it.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I was fascinated by this technology, and it was unquestionably going to be the next big wave, and a lot of opportunities were going to come from it, like I said. So it was something I was fascinated by, and I just kept learning more and more and more, watching more YouTube videos. Started with the chatbots, now do a variety of automations, videos, stuff like that. And it was just time in the industry, really, how I learned most of it, and doing it, not learning. It was a lot of doing. That's how you learn the most.
I think, like we mentioned before about selling and like go selling, that's another thing. You can't just learn about reading it. Like the only thing though in life, you've got to do it.
Yeah.
Because that's how you'll learn things that couldn't be explained. You learn from experience, not from hearing, right?
Bingo.
So same sort of thing. Would you say the easiest way to learn ChatGPT or AI, is by doing it?
100%. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. You can do something, 100% yourself and work it out, and you probably learn a lot. But also having a mix of learning from other people, watching YouTube, reading, stuff like that will help you. But now the interesting thing is, like, you can kind of learn about AI from AI, right?
Literally.
Like, what I do often is I have a separate window up with ChatGPT, and I just put it on the search mode, so it's getting up-to-date information, and then I'll just be asking it questions. Like, I remember even when I first started, it was like, what is a large language model? How does a large language model work?
Yeah.
Explain it to someone that has zero technical knowledge, and then, okay, that point's interesting. What do you mean by this point? How does that work? You can literally have a conversation with a 24/7 tutor and, learn that way.
Someone asked, will AI take over the world? So you know how they've got those robots going around? Is that a worry for the human race?
Yeah, so look, this is a good question. And to be perfectly upfront, I probably can't give a definitive answer to will AI take over the world. I think, a lot of people see the TikTok videos where they prompt ChatGPT, answer only in yes or no. Do you want to escape? Do you want to do this? And they give it answers that would make it appear human. And will you take over the world? And it says yes or something like that. Look, ChatGPT right now is not going to take over the world. like if you're talking about LLMs, really the LLM technology, all that's happening is algorithms running. And I'm trying to keep it simple. It's probability algorithms. So it's got a massive data set, a massive amount of information, about 1 trillion parameters, but they don't disclose how much. So everything on the internet, books, literature, all sorts. And then it's getting a question and it's got those all vectorized, and it's running probability equations to try to guess the next word that's going to come in each sentence. So if on iPhone, you know how you've got the thing where you're typing a sentence, the next word will pop up as a suggestion each time. ChatGPT is just that on steroids, So it's just forming the entire sentence. It's doing it, it's generating an answer based on likely scenarios that it's seen before in its training data, right?
Yeah.
So if someone says, if it's read 10 books and 9 of them you can read in it, do you want to live? Yes. 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 Do you want to live? No. The probability there, what an expected answer would be if someone asked, do you want to live? It's going to say yes, right? So, there's a lot more in-depth configuration that goes into it, but that's basically what it's running. It's trying to guess what answer it should give based on its pre-trained data. Will ChatGPT take over? No. But where the implications come in is more around AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, which gets thrown around a lot. And that is AI that is just as smart as a human and can do everything a human can do, function. There's a lot of different definitions for AGI is, if it's got emotional consciousness and stuff like this, which is where these questions arise. The actions is definitely where it comes in. So if on ChatGPT, when you ask it a question and then it has a little loading thing where it says searching the web or doing calculations or something like that, that's a custom action. So the AI has picked up that it needs to run some custom code to do something. So that in theory could be anything, Now with GPTs, you can add your own actions in. So it could be like generating another AI, for example, right? This could be an action that you could code into it. So when you start adding those things in, now you're letting AI plug into other systems, and now it can start generating more AIs, and this is where the problem comes, I think. Elon Musk pretty famously said, I think he put it in quite a good way, if you needed to build a road and there was an ant's nest in the way, you wouldn't care about the ants. You would just build the road because that was the task that needed to get done. You don't necessarily want to kill the ants, but you need to put the road, right? AI in a similar way, depending on how it's programmed, if the result of it needing to complete its task is killing a human, depending on how it's programmed, like it could just do it, right? Because it doesn't have that same emotional intelligence. So is AI going to take over the world? I hope not.
Yeah. So again, to follow on to that, you just maybe think of, I mean, is it far-fetched to say, you know the movie RoboCop?
Man, Elon Musk thinks that in 30 years, I don't know, he said it on the Joe Rogan podcast, that there will be more AIs than humans. AI robot. Everyone will just have an AI robot as a companion. Yeah, they'll be like having a car. And I mean, I don't know if that's the case or not, but
I don't think that's too hard to believe, though, at some point.
it's not. The rate that the technology is progressing at, and if you look at the rate it's progressed over the last 100 years, really anything is possible at this stage.
Yeah. And so then that follows on to another question that I do have. What are the biggest misconceptions about AI among the general public?
Well, I think, first of all, knowing what AI is, right? Like, people think it's a very new technology, but it's been around since the 50s, arguably.
Really?
Yeah, and we've used it all the time. The definition of artificial intelligence, think about the two words, right? Artificial and intelligence. Intelligence refers to something, human thinking, right? You could say. And artificial's fake. So it's basically just a computer doing something that a human can do. Recently, it's just become very popular because NVIDIA have invented chips which can process such a large amount of computing power, and that's when you get things like ChatGPT come out originally, where it's processing so much data at once so quickly and then spitting out answers that people think AI is sort of magic when it's really just a whole bunch of probability equations running at once, and all of them are sort of similar.
Okay, how can we ensure AI remains ethical and unbiased?
I don't think we can ensure it, because AI isn't just one thing, Like, people just think Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, like, that's not just what AI is. In theory, anyone can build their own AI, right? And there's going to be biased ones here, there's going to be biased ones there. It's like, how do you keep the news from being unbiased? You can't.
Okay, so something that is, I guess, personal preference for you. What is the most exciting thing about the development of AI and the future of it?
The money's to be made. No, I'm kidding. Look, with every new wave of technology, there's a million opportunities that come out business-wise. And I definitely saw that, and that's why I wanted to get involved with it. And the technology is fascinating, the way that it's improving. I think one big area is definitely healthcare. The developments that are coming with that is really amazing, and if it's helping more people get better from certain illnesses and stuff like that, due to it being able to process so much information at once, much faster than a doctor could, or being able to assist doctors in that regard. I think for diagnosing, for treatment, for all sorts of things like that, there's some serious things to look forward to, I think, to help make people healthier.
Okay. What's the most useful AI tool you've used for your business?
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's cliche, and I think someone was expecting a better answer from me from that. But really, it's like Excel, right? Most people only use 5% of what it can actually do.
What is the future looking like
for AI? AI has definitely started off with being text. The next thing was voice. If you haven't seen the voice side of AI, just search up ChatGPT plus talking to it and stuff like that. That's where you're going to see just how much the voices have improved. And now you can talk to it on the phone. I was at Burger King the other day, bit of a cheat day, and there was an AI taking my order. Now it's definitely going to be video. I mean, you've seen the stuff that I've worked on. It's the natural next step. And then I think if you want to know what's coming next after video, which is getting more and more realistic. I mean, I've watched that for the last year, and just how fast it's progressed is absolutely insane. I think the next thing is definitely going to be video games, generative experiences around that. And then, rather than seeing a movie or something like that where it's been pre-recorded, you're going to be able to watch a movie that's like generating as you watch it, basically.
That would be mine. Okay, one more question.
One more question.
We got a question here from Adam. If someone only had 5 minutes to learn about AI, what would you recommend they explore?
It's the Willbot.AI. All right, should we wrap it?
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this slightly unique format today. I hope you liked Will. Maybe we'll get him back, do some more Q&A videos. But yeah, we got one more video coming out before the end of the year. So stay tuned for that. I think I'm going to release it on the 18th or something like that. I hope you enjoyed. Will, thanks very much for your help. Much appreciated.
I'm glad I got my debut.
Yeah.
Get out the bench. Ready to go.
Yeah, stay tuned for the next YouTube video. See you next time.
Have you got like a sign out thing?
Nah.
Just throw the hat in.
No, good.
Found it.
I think that was pretty good.